Good morning, guys. It's Becky Bamboo. Guess what? It's Friday. It's Friday. Friday. I still love Fridays. Who doesn't love Fridays? So it's Friday, April 8th, 2011. I don't really have a lot to tell you guys today, but something tells me this will end up being a long video regardless, because I just like to talk. I don't have an update about my wedding ring. I was hoping to be able to give you that today, but I guess the two guys played phone tag yesterday and they never really had a chance to connect and talk. So I think that's kind of the mission today, is for them to get in touch with one another and whatever. So hopefully by the end of the day I'll know something about the wedding ring. I'm kind of to the point where I'm just, wanting to know. So anyway, no info on that. Yesterday was going to be my day off. I think I even talked about that in my video. I thought I was going to just kind of take a little easy day, let my legs rest and whatever. And that totally didn't happen. I cleaned my house, I did my laundry, and my husband actually got off early yesterday because it was a bit slow. And he knew he was going to have a full day today. They're not paying overtime, so he basically had no choice but to be off early yesterday. So anyway, he came home and said, it's nice out. I want to go on a long bike ride. And I said, okay. Because I pretty much just, if somebody wants to do something that's like fitness related or just outdoor activity, I'm totally in anymore. Like, there was a time in the past where I would have been like, oh no, I don't want to do that. And it's just it's kind of fun to like be the opposite way now. So anyway, he wanted to ride a trail we hadn't ridden before, which always makes me nervous because he tells me, oh yeah, this trail's really flat. It's not that bad. You won't have any problem. I'm like, okay. Totally not true. Totally not true. Totally not true. Totally not true. I guess I should be thankful for the direction that we went in this loop, because had we gone the other way, I would have died. I would have totally died. We got going down this one trail, and all of a sudden I realized, like, I don't have to pedal. Like, I'm just flying, and I'm not pedaling. And I looked at him, and I'm like, totally flat, huh? And he's like, yeah, it's flat. I'm like, then why am I not having to pedal? And he's like, oh yeah, this is kind of a small section that's downhill. I'm like, okay. We keep going, and we keep going, and we keep going. Now, I have my iPhone, and I have an app on my iPhone that's for bicycling that is a GPS, so it tracks your distance and your speed and all that stuff. And, like, it's telling us our speed is, like, way faster than what we were going, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I've been coasting for 2 miles. 2 miles. I did not pedal. I just coasted. And I'm like, you are such a liar. This is such a big hill. I'm like, what would we have done coming the other way? I don't know if I could I don't know if I can ride up that hill or not. That would be a very long 2 miles. So anyway, we continue on our ride, and this actually goes through our college campus, and that was kind of fun for us because we rode by our old dorm, which is actually where Jared and I met. So that was kind of fun, and my room where I stayed was like right kind of like towards this big open patio section, and you ride right by that, and he's like, there's your room, and I'm like, oh my god. And it feels like it's been forever since we've been there. I was first in the dorm in 2001, so it's been 10 years since I first was in the dorm. And to me it just seems crazy riding by there all these years later. And so we kind of were reminiscing, and that was really fun for us. And riding through campus was like, oh my gosh, how many times did we walk this section together? And we were all over that campus together, so that was kind of fun for us yesterday. But then we got to this very sketchy stretch of trail. I'm like, I didn't even think we were still on the trail, to be perfectly honest, because like the pavement went away, and it was like dirt and rocks, and it was like weaving through trees, and I'm like, what in the hell? It was all downhill. I'm like, where are we? Are we even on a path anymore? Or are we just off-road? And so it turned out that it was the trail, but it was crazy. So we ended up riding. I don't think we got home till about 6:30. So at about 6:15, as we were kind of getting closer to home, we saw a deer out on the trail. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a big deer, look at it. And it was just out eating the grass and stuff. And I was like, oh, so I was trying to get my phone out because I wanted to take a picture. And some a-hole comes barreling around us and of course scares it away. And I'm like, what a jerk. And I mean, he's doing his own thing, but I was still pissed off. I'm like, what a jerk. So we kind of slowly rode up to where the deer had ran off into the woods, and it was still there. It was just barely in the woods. And I was like, oh, how fun. So I got my camera and I got a picture of it. It was like looking right at us. And so that was kind of cool. And so I'm kind of messing with my phone trying to like, you know, like mess with the zoom and stuff. And I look up and I see that there's another one back there. There was two. And I was like, oh, there's another one, honey. So we were kind of talking about it, and I was trying to figure out how to take a picture with my Zoom or whatever. And all of a sudden I look and I'm like, oh, they're doing the hibbity dibbity bop. And my husband's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we should probably go. So sure enough, the deer were mating, and I was just like, oh my God, we gotta go. I felt like I was violating them by watching. So, but anyway, I got a picture of the male deer, which was kind of fun. And you know, that was the first time I've been out riding that I've seen a deer. So that was kind of neat. You see lots of rabbits and squirrels and all that kind of stuff, but deer, you know, I guess it's kind of we live in a kind of a heavily deer populated area. So it's not abnormal to see the deer even out on the side of the road and stuff. But, I guess it was kind of getting to be, you know, later in the evening when the sun was starting to go down. So that's when they were coming out. Anyway, what else was I going to tell you? Oh, I took some new pictures today. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like taking some pictures. And I did do a couple new side-by-side comparison shots. And though there's not a huge difference between the last ones I did and this one, it's still noticeable to me in certain spots. So, the difference is I had lost 152 pounds during my last side-by-side comparison, and now I'm down 175. So it's not quite 25 pounds, but pretty close. And I don't know, it's pretty cool to me. It's just neat to look at the difference in my body and my shape and everything else. And now, you know, it's getting to be like capri and short weather. So I thought this was a good opportunity because my pre-op picture is taken in shorts. So it's kind of nice to see the difference in my calves and my ankles. And it's really noticeable. That's where I really see it. That running, my God, that running is paying off. I can't reiterate that enough, how much of a difference that is making. I have calves. I never had calves before. I just had kind of like a straight leg. So it's kind of fun. And I'm very anxious to watch how my lower body continues to transition over the upcoming months and months, you know. But anyway, I'm going to tack the pictures on at the end of the video because I want you guys to see them if you're not on Facebook. And I also just took a new kind of like headshot of myself. I do that every now and then. And it's amazing to me just to see the difference in my face, just my face over the last, you know, however many months. I had a picture I took not too long ago that's on Facebook that I had on like a black collared shirt, and I thought when I took that picture, gosh, look how cute I look. And like I just thought, man, I'm just so much slimmer. And then I compare the picture today to that picture, and my face is so much slimmer again. And it's like, how is it still getting skinnier? It amazes me. You know, just when you think you get used to seeing your face a certain way, then you see it a totally different way not that long down the road. So that's kind of fun. I try to encourage everybody who's doing this journey to take a lot of pictures and if you don't do videos, at the very least, do pictures for yourself. It's astonishing to look back. And my husband and I were just talking yesterday about my pre-op photos, because we were kind of talking about how I'm going to be the speaker at this thing, and I was pulled out this pair of shorts that I had wore in my pre-op picture. You'll see them, they're blue. And I was holding them up, and he's like, I don't ever remember those looking that big. I'm like, I know, but they are, and they always were. And it's pretty cool, like, now for us to, like, really look back at some pictures, and it's like, wow. I mean, we thought I looked good, like, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and now it's like, oh my gosh. And so then it starts to make me think, and I made this comment to my husband. I'm like, if I thought, because, like, when I took some of these other pictures, I thought I looked really good. So if I thought I looked good then, and I feel like I look good now, but now when I look back at those pictures, I think, God, I looked awful. Am I going to feel that way again, like in another 50 pounds or whatever? And if so, then that's kind of a weird feeling because like I feel like I look good, but in actuality, I maybe don't. I don't know. It's like it's messing with my mind a little bit today. So, I guess all stuff to work through, but it's interesting to hear my husband talk about it. He's like, I never thought of you or saw you that big. He's like, I just never did until now. Now that I see those pictures, he's like, I'm like astonished because you were so big. And when you were that big, I didn't think of you as being that big. Like you were just you. And he goes, but now it's totally different. So it's kind of been an eye-opener for both of us, I think, looking back at these pictures. So once again, a big encouragement to new people out there. Take a lot of pictures. Make sure you have a picture of you pre-op. Even if you don't want to show it to anybody right at this moment, there may come a time where you will openly share it. I openly shared it from the beginning. As much as I hate that pre-op picture, I hate them. But it's raw and it's real, and that's what I was, and that's how big I was, and it needs to be shown that way. So comparing it like the before to now is always it's an amazing thing to look at, and I kind of realized I'm getting ever closer to being like literally half the size I was, and that's intense. I was 424 pounds, so when I get to 212, I'll be half the size I was. I'm at 249, so that's not all that far to go. That's pretty crazy to me. I can easily fit into one leg of my old pants, of my old shorts. I was showing my husband last night the shorts I'm going to take to the seminar, and I stood in one side of him, and he's like, that's just insane. He's like, it's just insane that you were ever that big. I don't ever remember you being that big. And so it's kind of a eye-opener. And it's funny, he actually wears like just a regular extra large kind of like athletic short. And I said, let me see your athletic shorts. Let me just try them on and see if I can fit in them. And of course they fit. So it's like we laid out my 6 extra large athletic shorts next to his extra large. And it's like crazy how different that looks. Like they are almost half the size. And it's like, wow, it's kind of an intense thing to experience. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't think you really can put it to words. We just kind of both stood there and just stared at it, and he's just like, I don't even know what to say about it. And I didn't either. I just said, can you believe when I would wear those blue shorts and like I took up that much space? Like that's what gets to me, is like laying them on the bed. That takes up like half the width of the bed, and we have a king size bed. And I was like, oh my God, no wonder like I felt like we had no room in bed. And now it's like we don't even touch each other. We can sleep in a queen and not even touch each other. It's crazy. It's crazy how different it is. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. So I'm tacking on the photos at the end for y'all to enjoy. And hopefully it means something to somebody. I don't know. It means a lot to me, and that's quite frankly all I care about. But if it's an awakening for somebody else, then so be it. So anyway, that's all that's going on. My mama's coming down tomorrow, haircut day. Can't wait. So excited. I'm going to have her go very short. I'm really excited. I want to go really short, as short as I can possibly go without it looking crazy, I think short hair is so much easier, and when mine gets long in the back, it just goes nuts, and it's going nuts right now. So I'm going to shorten it up a bit more, and I feel confident in doing that because my face is so much smaller now. I used to kind of be weary of of going too short because my face was so fat, but not anymore. I have a jaw, and I don't have really much of a double chin unless I make it that way. So that's kind of exciting. Okay, enough for me.